We're back with our daily NBA best bets here on Thursday, November 13th. I don't know whose bright idea it was to only put 3 games on today, but here we are. I don't know why they keep doing this. You have 30 teams in the league. Like, I know you want teams to play on Friday, but you could give us more than 3 games. I don't know. We still have 5 bets. I'm going to do 3 money lines / spreads. You'll see it in a second. And then we're going to do 2 player props. So we're still going to talk about every single game. We're still going to have 5 bets. I don't love the schedule. Why are there only 3 games? And why am I forced to watch the Hawks and Jazz at 6 o'clock? Because unfortunately, I don't want to watch the Pacers right now, okay? More on that later. Anyways, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets, so you're not going to want to miss that video. That is linked in the description down below. Also on the channel, our weekly college football predictions, over 4 hours of Week 12 college football picks. Again, that is linked in the description down below, along with our NFL predictions as well. We posted that yesterday for week number 11. And on Greedo Plays MMA, our UFC 322, Della Maddalena versus Makhachev, full card predictions as well. Yesterday, NBA predictions went, our NBA best bets went 1 and 2. Weird day. We had Giddey and Davis. Seems like Anthony Davis is going to be out for quite a bit now, and I think there's potential. AD's actually played his last game as a Mav. Giddey doesn't come back. Bulls are competitive without Giddey, but they fall short. So, Chicago. I know the Pistons didn't have anybody either. Regardless, though, we'll be back today. We'll be better today. Again, there's more, we're not going to get 2 DMPs, I don't think, with our player props. Okay, on to the first now of our 5 best bets today. We're going to manage with this 3-game slate. First of 2 best bets for the Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're kicking things off with Brandon Ingram over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So hopefully there's no slamming of water bottles today. Hopefully there's only, slam dunks. That was horrible. That was really bad. That just sounded like I don't know anything about basketball. Anyways, Brandon Ingram is playing tonight. Again, Ingram has been the face of controversy, I guess. I mean, the big story again out of Ingram the other day was that he spiked a water ball on the ground, and then, the attendants on the court had to go sweep it up, and BI just sat there pissed because they lost the Sixers, and he just sat there while he watched these, people work for the Toronto Raptors sweep up his mess or mop up his mess. And, I guess, if you watch the clip, B.I. doesn't say a single thing to these dudes. It's just like, I don't know, people, Brandon Ingram, multimillionaire basketball player who can't, apologize. I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't know. I don't really actually put too much into it. It is what it is. But, bro is mad. I don't really oh, yeah, he didn't apologize. That sucks. Okay. Not everyone's a great human being. I'm not saying B.I. is not a great human being. Regardless. Anyways, Brandon Ingram, right, is still playing good basketball this year. Again, the Raptors lose that game to Philadelphia. The team as a whole didn't look that great. BI scored 21 points, but on a nightly basis, Ingram has been averaging 22-ish points per game. The line tonight, again, 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's a line that he usually gets, or at least gets very close to. Look at his last game against the Brooklyn Nets. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Again, I kind of had to double take when I saw this line. That BI is only at 29.5 PRA because, again, last game, 25 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Again, that's, top of my head, math, 34 points, rebounds, and assists. Play a game before that against the Sixers. Again, bad game for Toronto, but, I mean, Ingram plays 37 minutes, 21 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. That is, again, 34 PRA. So back-to-back 34 points, rebounds, and assists nights for Ingram, which kind of just makes it odd why this is his line here. Yeah, I just don't get it. I just double-checked again just to make sure, legitimately, I don't understand it. It's still 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. A game against the Cavs, these are 2 teams that play really fast, 2 teams that want to push the pace the entire game. Why wouldn't Ingram get 30 points, rebounds, and assists? I mean, we can even go back a little bit further, too. Okay, he only scores 20 points against Atlanta, but he still gets 6 rebounds and 4 assists. That's 30 points, rebounds, and assists. Game before that against the Bucks, bad game, sure, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. We just need BI to get in the 20s here. If BI gets into the 20s with points, we're fine, because he's going to find a way to get about 10 RA, rebounds and assists. So if we just get in the 20s points-wise, we should be fine. Again, let's go back to the other game in November that he played against the Memphis Grizzlies, 26.7 rebounds, 4 assists. Well, he gets that done with just assists and points. So on average so far in the month of November, this has been an easy line for Brandon Ingram. 21 points per game, 4 assists per game, 7 rebounds a game. I mean, right there, that is, again, I got to do some math here. Let's crunch the numbers. That's 32 PRA for a guy who's only going to need 30 tonight And that average is way, way down because of that game against Milwaukee. You take away the Milwaukee game, his PRA average like 35, 36 so far in the month of November. I think we're totally fine. Again, and I like the matchup too with a fast-paced team like Cleveland. Cleveland's going to push a pace. You know how the Cavs are. They're one of the best offensive teams in the league. Obviously, back-to-back 130-plus point scoring nights for them in Miami. Now, they dropped the first one and then won the second. Yeah, that was how that sequence went. Also, Cleveland's got some guys hurt. We'll get to that in a second. I don't know who is going to be playing today because Cleveland sat out a bunch of guys yesterday for their second night of their back-to-back or second night of their two-game stretch in Miami, and they still won the game without, again, I'll get into that full thing in a second, but they were without multiple starters in that game in Miami. They lost the first one with their guys and then actually won the second one without their starters. Interesting spot, right? But anyways, I think we're going to expect a lot of possessions for the Raptors tonight. Brandon Ingram can you argue? Is he their best scorer? He's got to be, right? RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes are going to score quite a bit as well, right? RJ Barrett's averaged 20 points per game this season. Scotty Barnes has averaged 19.5 points per game, but then you get VI, who's averaging 21.5. I think this is just a really great line. I don't know why it's so low, honestly. Like, I would expect this at a 31.5 or a 32.5, but yet we get it at 29.5. So I would take the line while you can. Again, as of 2:30 in the morning, it is still at 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I hope it stays that way throughout the day. So we're going to absolutely feast on it. Give me minus 125 for Brandon Ingram on over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, as long as he gets that point total in the 20s, we're going to be completely fine in the spot. So give me BI. I'm here to go over at minus 125. On to our second best bet of the video. Let's stay now at the same exact game here at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, wherever the hell it is, in Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to be taking Raptors plus 7.5. This is as simple as we don't know who the Cavs are going to be playing tonight. I understand, Toronto. Toronto had a cold start to the year, but they're on fire now. And again, I understand the Cavs won yesterday without a lot of their guys. And usually, again, the way that works with, guys taking the first game off in the back-to-back. Yesterday, Cavs did not play Evan Mobley or Donovan Mitchell. And they still beat Miami, the same team they got into a dogfight in overtime with in the first game of the back-to-back, right? They win the first one, the second one without those guys. They started Lonzo, Sam Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, Jared Allen. And they won the game. Jared Allen scored 30 points and had 10 rebounds. 21 points out of DeAndre Hunter, 15 points out of Lonzo Ball. Surprising outcome, not going to lie. I get it. Miami's still without Tyler Hero, and they've been without Tyler Hero, but interesting that Cleveland got the game where they sat all their guys. Now, we still don't know who's playing tonight for Cleveland. Again, that's just the National Basketball Association. Not sure yet. Also Darius Garland is out. He got injured in the first game against Miami, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. Garland's not playing tonight, obviously, but again, it's up in the air about Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, Max Strus has been out for the season so far, and he'll be back eventually, but still no Strus. So we know Garland's not playing. It's up in the air about Mitchell and Mobley. I would assume both those guys are going to play. I assume they were saving them for the second night of a back-to-back. Games at home, obviously. I guess semi-national television spot. You're on NBA TV. Again, that's kind of a nationally televised game. Some people get NBA TV. Well, if you have League Pass, you get NBA TV, I believe. Anyway, do you? I don't think you do. I should know. I have League Pass. I think. You have to, because I haven't ever had problems watching a basketball game. Anyways, though, my point with all that being is Cleveland won their guys at home. Again, there's no real injury listed right now for Mobley and Mitchell. It just says, they just didn't play yesterday due to rest. Okay. They should be playing tonight. That doesn't really matter to me. I think Toronto can play a competitive game. And this is as simple as look at the way the Raptors have been playing. By the way, last time they played Cleveland, in Cleveland, on Halloween, they went there and won the game, 112-101. Lower scoring affair compared to what both those teams usually do. And I get there were injuries for Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell did not play that game. He was injured, but still, right, Toronto goes on the road and wins that one. But the Raptors started the year ice cold. They won their first game of the year in Atlanta and then proceeded to drop 4 games in a row, 2 Milwaukee, 2 Dallas, 2 San Antonio, and 2 Houston. They played 3 straight Texas teams and lost every single one of them. And then they went on this big winning streak, right, winning 4 consecutive games in Cleveland, against the Grizzlies, against the Bucks, and then winning again in Atlanta, dropped 1 to Philly, but then came back and won their last game on Tuesday night against the Brooklyn Nets. I understand a high school team would have a chance right now against the 2025-2026 Brooklyn Nets, but still a win is a win is a win in the NBA, and the Toronto Raptors are back to over 500 at 6-5. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, I guess you can say picking up right where they left off last season. This is still a premier team in the East, and they don't, luckily for them, they don't have to run into Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers in 2025 and 2026. Just you wait. Just you wait. More in Indiana in a second, but unfortunately for the Pacers, they are 1-10 And in a three-way tie, essentially, for last place with the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards. Oh my goodness. You know what? Okay. I was pretty adamant on the fact that they're going to make the playoffs this season. I know that's not going to come true, probably. But you know what this does say? Tyrese Halliburton's like a top 10 player in the league. He still is, okay? I know there was discussion, maybe Halliburton's not that. Look how bad they are without him. More on that in a second. I know, again, the Pacers play today, so we can talk about Indiana. But luckily for Cleveland, right, there is no threat of losing to Indiana. They have postseason experience now. This entire core does. Well, I mean, they've been the playoffs back-to-back years now at this point. They, lost to the Celtics 2 years ago. But they have experience being the 1 seed, I guess we can say. If that, I don't know if that means much. It really doesn't. They lost that series of the Knicks the year before, too. Oh, my goodness. The Cavs have just been playoff losers every single season. And they lost the play-in the year before. They lost back-to-back games in the play-in. Holy crap. Yeah, that's not ideal. Well, the East is wide open. And I've said this all year long. Like, it is even wide open for the Toronto Raptors, who right now are stuck in that little play-in bubble. We'll see. Again, the play-in usually is just Chicago, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta every single year. And then we'll just figure it out around those teams. But, I mean, I don't even know. There's no clear-cut favorite in the East. I think Draymond Green said this, and it's a fact. It's kind of crazy that he said it, but it's true. Draymond Green said that, the team in the East is going to get smoked in the NBA Finals. It's a fact. I mean, there's no team in the East that is comparable to any team in the West. I mean, what, the Detroit Pistons are in first place right now? Cleveland, New York. I mean, I can tell you for a fact the Knicks are getting blown out, and the Knicks will get swept if they make it to the finals. The Cavs, maybe their offense can win them a game, and I'm comparing okay, they play OKC, because I think we all expect the Thunder to be in the NBA Finals, right? And I know we're only 12 games in, but legitimately think, okay, Thunder versus Pistons, that is Thunder in 4. Thunder Cavs, I'll give the Cavs 1. Thunder Knicks, I'll give the Knicks 0. Who else? I mean, I love Chicago, but Chicago's not winning a game against OKC. I mean, who else could get into the finals? Philly? They're not winning a game, right? So whoever gets out of the West is going to win the entire thing. I mean, we just saw yesterday with the Thunder playing the Lakers. Kind of, I love the Lakers. And yeah, again, LeBron comes back. That's going to be my excuse, and 100% it is. Like, when LeBron comes back, it's different. Sure, OKC doesn't have J-Dub still. Yeah, and they're doing that to probably the third best team in the West. I'd still say Denver's probably second. They're doing that to the Lakers. It's absurd, man. I don't know how the Lakers are ever going to get out the West, because the Thunder are going to win the next 5 NBA Finals, and Shea legitimately is on a Jordan-type path. I'm not joking. I know his teams are way better than Jordan's were, but were that? No, they are. But, yeah, that Thunder team, I don't know how you beat them in a 7-game series. Oh, yeah, Denver got close last year. OKC's even better now. Danger. Anyways, give me Toronto here. Plus 7.5. I think they're competitive in this spot. The Raptors have been playing good basketball. They're winners in 4 of their last 5, and I think they should be able to keep this game close against Cleveland. Cavs probably win, but who cares? Anyways, on to our second best bet of the video. We move to our third best bet of the video, the second game of the day. Let's go to Phoenix, Arizona. Again, I want to stay away from Indiana as much as possible because there's so much unknown with this team. This does feel pretty safe, though, and I will, obviously we're going to get into the Andrew Nembhard pick in a second. Unfortunately for the Pacers, though, they're a 1-10 basketball team. I just witnessed this team give up 152 points to the Utah Jazz. Yeah, that Utah Jazz team that have looked really bad since the beginning of the season. They have completely fallen off a cliff, and then the Pacers walk into Salt Lake and give up 152 points. Now, Andrew Nembhard scores 25 points in that game, 7 assists, and we're taking his over 23.5 PA this game. That game against Utah, Nembhard, if I'm not mistaken, I know he scores, I think it's all 10 of the first 10 points. It's either the 10 first points or 8 of the 10 first points for the Pacers. Anyways, Indiana gets out to a 10-0 lead, and Andrew Nembhard does all of that work early in the game, right? He's back in the lineup. Well, he's been back, but I mean, Nembhard is officially playing every single day again. He played the opener against the Thunder, went out for about, a week and a half. Now he's back. Dropped 25 points as a whole. Again, got going really early in that game for Indiana in Utah, and eventually again scores 25 points and 7 assists. Again, he clears this PA line with just points straight up, and then obviously tacks on more. So that is math again, 32 points and assists. I should not have taken that long to 25 plus 7. Yeah, anyways. This is an easy line, though, for Nembhard. I mean, look, again, the Warriors game. Limited minutes for these Pacers guys. I get it, Nembhard was their only player in that game because Pascal sat out and a lot of guys didn't play. But anyways, Nembhard against the Warriors, 14 points, 9 assists. That's a bad night for Nembhard. And I know he doesn't clear the line. It's only 23 PA, but really, he's, passing the ball to, no disrespect. I mean, passing the ball to Talen Peter and Ray J. Davis. And he's still getting 9 assists. Jay Huff, and he's getting 9 assists. I only scored 14, sure, but he gets pulled really early in that game. And Nembhard is still yet to find that 3-point shot. Against the Nuggets, by the way, 22 points, 6 assists, that's fine. Nembhard is yet to really find that big three-point shot because, I mean, he was obviously on fire in the postseason last year and in the NBA Finals. And I thought at the beginning of the year, and I still think it's probably going to be true, Nembhard has to continue to be, that. Obviously, he's the point guard of this team, but he's going to have to continue to see an extended role now and an increased role, obviously, with the Halliburton injury. Sure, we know Pascal Siakam's your best player. You know Pascal Siakam is still this team's all-star. I believe Pascal will probably make it back to yet another all-star game this season. I mean, Siakam currently averaging 25 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. It's absurd. So I expect Siakam to probably be back in that spot next season or this season, but Nembhard needs to continue to step up. Obviously, again, with Halliburton out, this is your guy now. He is your primary ball handler, and the three-point shot is still yet to fully find itself for Nembhard so far in 2025, the 2025-2026 season. Nembhard is shooting, look at the exact average here. He's shooting 25% from beyond the arc. Yeah, he goes 0 for 2 in the limited minutes he played before the injury against OKC. He goes 2 for 10 in the Nuggets game, 2 for 9 in the Warriors game. And then the Utah game was his best shooting effort so far, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc for Andrew Nembhard. But once he fully finds that three-point shot, and those shots, again, are consistently hitting for him, I think Nembhard is going to be a very solid player again all year long for the Pacers. It is unfortunate where the Pacers have already gone this season, and it kind of feels like, okay, they're already in tank mode, and I think we're not too far off of seeing Indiana consistently starting to rest guys. And I understand, too, unfortunately, this is just what happened to him. First game of the year, Nembhard gets injured. And don't forget, Indiana played a really close game, night one against the OKC. I got so excited for that team. They, almost beat the Thunder. They don't win, but they cover, and I was really pumped. Indiana might be fine this year. Halliburton's going to be on the sidelines every single game. He's going to be on the bench, and, this team should be going. They should be amped every single night. The crowd was electric. First night of the year against the Thunder, and then they've won one game since. They beat Golden State at home. They've lost to Brooklyn at home. They lost to Utah on the road. They lost to Dallas on the road in a competitive game. Just a disastrous season. They lost to the Antless Minnesota Timberwolves. Yikes, 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 and more yikes. It's been really bad for the Pacers so far this year. They're not far off from just going to Utah Jazz mode every year and just starting to rest guys randomly, Oh, okay, well the Charlotte Hornets come to town. Okay, we don't really want to win this one, so Siakam, you take a night off. Nembhard, take a night off too. We're just gonna roll with Taylor Peter and Ray J Davis all night, and Johnny Furphy's gonna be back. Again, it's the unfortunate situation the Pacers have been put in. Nothing that they've done themselves. I mean, again, Nembhard gets injured on opening night. Obi Toppin gets injured very early in the season. Tyrese Halliburton obviously out for the year. They come into the season with the TJ McConnell injury. Cam Jones got some off the court issues, obviously, and Jones is still out. Again, he's got a back injury with all that, all that as well, and he's still a ways out from returning. Matherin's hurt. Yeah, they've never really been, again, this season's been doomed from the start. Maybe that's what happens as well when, you trade this in for the Hoosiers being great at both football and basketball this year. They're going to be back in the tournament this year. In basketball, I would confidently say that now. They're probably going to be, they're going to get a bye in the college football playoffs. The Colts are going to be, I think the Colts are going to have home field advantage throughout the AFC, or at least they're going to win the South and be a prominent player in the postseason, right? You trade all that in for the Pacers being bad one season, it is what it is. And obviously AJ or a Darren Peterson joining Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam in 2026. On top of that, they just need to get a center too. Pacers are going to be nasty next year, and they should be expected, in my opinion, to win the East next season. Right now, yeah, obviously there's going to be some rough patches. It is what it is, but I'm going to take Nembhard tonight. I think Nembhard's going to have a big day. He's shown, he's going to get big assist numbers, and when Nembhard's on, he's going to put up 20 points. We'll be fine here. Give me Andrew Nembhard on the over 23.5 PA. With that being said, unfortunately, I have to fade the Pacers here. I got to go Phoenix -4. Guys, Indiana, we've known they never play defense. That's always been their thing, and that was the thing going into, every single playoff series they had last year. It's all right, well, they don't play defense, but they can just outscore you. Their pace and the pressure that they put on you is just too much. I think it needs to be said now, though, obviously, we've known the Halliburton loss was going to be huge. I don't think, anyone expected it to be this big. I thought they were going to be able to just hang in the playoffs, because I thought, Siakam was going to be big and Nembhard, and I get it. Again, the injuries have absolutely destroyed them this season. Again, Matherin's out, too. But no Halliburton, it's just, you can tell it's a different team, right? The pace in which Halliburton plays with, and yes, you get that back with McConnell returning, and McConnell returned in the Utah game, did not play the second half, but played the first half. You get that pace coming back, and obviously, again, you get that, pure pressure style. But with no Halliburton, man, it is just a different team out there. And you can tell. Most of the thing with the Pacers was last season, like, all right, they don't play defense, but it doesn't matter because they can just outscore you. They can't do that this year. It's pretty obvious they can't. The three-point shots that were hitting last year just aren't hitting now. And again, it's a combination of just a lot of guys being injured. Obviously, Aaron Nesmith has, regressed from that playoff run. That was expected, obviously. Nesmith was on an all-time heater last playoffs. Right now, you have no Obi Toppin, who's been a massive factor for you. Bennett Matherin's out. And obviously, again, the biggest factor in a top 10 player in the sport is Tyrese Halliburton being injured as well. On top of that, they're not playing defense. Andrew Nembhard is still your elite, perimeter defender. Nembhard's really good. Other than Nembhard, though, nobody's really playing that great of defense. Siakam, again, will always pick your pocket. I get that. Siakam can play decent defensive games, but, the rest of the squad, man, I don't love the center position for them right now. They're alternating between Tony Bradley, Isaiah Jackson, and Jay Huff. Jay Huff does not feel like an NBA center to me right now. Huff's not playing well. I think, again, if Huff could get the three-point ball going, all right, you can turn him into, like a Miles Turner type guy. I know, again, it's not difficult to turn anybody into Miles Turner. Just average 4 points per game and, average 3 rebounds a game, then you become Miles Turner. I digress, though. Anyways, I don't love what they're doing at the center position, and defensively, this team is just a mess right now. Again, Utah, they can be a high-scoring team at times. I understand that. Giving them 152 points to the Utah Jazz is unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable. 152 to the Utah Jazz. Marking him with 35 points. And sure, a lot of that was Utah could not miss from beyond the arc. They had a great shooting night, and they did get to the free throw line quite a bit. They went 31 for 35 from the three-point line. From the free throw line, three-point line would be ridiculous. And then from the free throw line, from the three-point line, they went 19 for 42. It is what it is, but Indiana defensively, they were trying to double most of the game, and then, okay, we're always going to leave Svi Mikhailuk wide open, but now Mikhailuk, he's hitting every single shot, and we don't adjust that at all, and now, okay, let's just play straight-up defense, but we're going to get blown by, and now, okay, open shooter in the corner, and here is Markkanen open, here is Mikhailuk open, here is Filipowski open, here's Sensabaugh open. It's just, I don't know what they're doing defensively. I don't know what Carlisle's really doing right now. Again, I know the entire team and organization and coaching staff has already basically thrown the white flag for this year. They know what this is. Again, I didn't, as a fan base, I didn't know if the Pacers fan base thought that. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I thought they were going to be a little competitive with that Halliburton. It seems like the Pacers have kind of already phoned it in this year and said, okay, we got our pick back. Don't forget, they traded for their pick during the NBA Finals. They traded it away. They got it back right before the Halliburton injury. 2 games before the Halliburton injury, they got their pick back, which is absurd. I don't know how they, partially was that, okay, if Halliburton gets hurt, we're screwed next season? Maybe. And I guess they figured it out. They did it for a reason. Imagine what would happen if Indiana didn't have their pick this year. Oh, my goodness. But they got their pick back, and now, yeah, the tank is on. And you'd think, again, the way NBA kind of rigs lotteries, I think they're going to reward the Pacers. I think they're going to, because they've been a consistent playoff team. They were right there to win the NBA Finals. Halliburton made them a lot of money last year. He was on the Netflix, docu as well. I think they like Indiana quite a bit. Silver in the league does. I think they're going to give them a very good player in the draft. They're going to grant them a top pick. I believe, again, they're going to get a top 2 pick. It's going to either be Darren Peterson or it's going to be AJ. I think for this Pacers team, AJ is definitely better for them, so we shall see. But again, the Pacers are going to be rewarded. This is just going to be a long wait for the Pacers. Trust me, next year, again, we will be back campaigning for the Pacers to win the NBA Finals. For now, again, we're going to put a quick bookmark into that, and you're not going to hear me, go on my daily Pacers rants about how great they are. Because they will be next season, but just you wait. Anyways, the Suns are going to put belt to ass the Pacers tonight. I hate to say it, but they're going to. Phoenix can score. And don't look now, but Phoenix has now won 4 straight games, 2 of which were against the Los Angeles Clippers, and I get it. Back-to-back bad teams in the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans. Yesterday, a win over Dallas, new era of Mavericks basketball, no Nico Harrison. AD's still not back, though, and Phoenix goes on the road and beats up on the Mavs. I get it. It's the second night of a back-to-back for Phoenix. I don't really think it matters the way Indiana's playing right now. Maybe the Pacers sneak one through here. I just don't see it. The way the Suns are playing right now and the way that they're shooting, Grayson Allen's, taking a bunch of shots. You're seeing Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, Jordan Goodwin, Colin Gillespie. All these guys have obviously D-Book. They all have quick triggers, and they're all pulling the best shot, the first available shot they see. And this team, if they can just stay afloat, Jalen Green's going to come back eventually. I know he's out for, a month now? 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, man, that's brutal. Because Green was playing well in the back-to-back Los Angeles games before he went back on the injury report again for another extended period of time. I don't think the Suns are actually that bad, though. Going into the season, I thought they were going to be horrible, but look at them play. Look how they played so far. They're an explosive offense that shoots all the ball the damn time. I don't really mind Phoenix right now. I'm going to take the Suns to cover 4, the way the Pacers play and the way the Pacers don't play defense. And they're in Phoenix. Yeah, I got to go with the Suns here. Give me the Phoenix Suns at home, -4 against the Indiana Pacers. On now to our final best bet of the video, and I think my favorite best bet of the video. The Jazz aren't doing this crap on back-to-back games, okay? They're not doing it. Give me the Atlanta Hawks in Utah. I get it, Atlanta played last night, and Atlanta's now playing their third game in 4 nights, and I get it, you're up at altitude in Salt Lake City against a Jazz team that does play with a high pace. I understand that. I don't care. I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks. They find ways to win. Monday night in LA against the Clippers, they win. Saturday, no Trae Young, obviously, no Jalen Johnson, no Kristaps Porzingis. They beat the Lakers with Luka in Atlanta. And then last night, they dominate the Sacramento Kings. Again, the Sacramento Kings, I don't know what the hell that franchise is doing. I don't know what the hell that team is doing. Sure, no Zach LaVine last night, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what the Sacramento Kings are currently trying to accomplish. It's a matter of time before we see LaVine traded. It's a matter of time before we see DeRozan traded and Domantas Sabonis traded. And it seems like the Warriors are the team that really wants in on Sabonis, I believe. We shall see. It has to be the Warriors, the mysterious California team that wants Domantas Sabonis. I think we all know who that is. Lakers. No, I'm kidding. Definitely not. It's definitely the Warriors. Regardless, the Hawks find ways to win, and in winning, they're putting up 133 points. And the benefit, what they got last night with their blowout win, because the Kings suck and the Kings only scored 12 points in the second quarter. The benefit of blowing a team like that out last night is that you got to rest all your guys in the fourth quarter. All those starters got rest in the fourth. We're talking the starting lineup of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Rissache, Jalen Johnson, and Kristaps Porzingis. But none of those guys played more than 25 minutes except for the great barrier thief and Dyson Daniels, but that's fine. It's like Daniels is going to be, shooting more than 8 times a game. He shot 9 shots last game. Regardless, you know what I mean. Like, Daniels playing 27 minutes doesn't really concern me. Again, that guy, he's in, fast-paced player will be okay. The Clippers suck. And the Hawks beat them. I don't know why the Clippers caught a stray there. I just felt like saying the Clippers suck because they do suck. How about last night, man? Jokic. Oh, man. The Clippers are horrible. Told you to take the Nuggets. I don't know why that line was where it was at early in the day. Anyways, though, Hawks last game, or 2 games ago, they beat the Clippers, come from behind victory. They go out and they get it done with, Zachary Rissache and Kristaps Porzingis and Craigie going out there and scoring 28 points. Again, the Hawks find ways to win. Craigie in that game over the Clippers, 28 points on 9 of 13 shooting and 8 for 10 from beyond the arc. Crazy stuff. They're taking on the Jazz. The Jazz just scored 152 points. The Hawks don't play the best defense, I understand. They're going to play better defense, though, right now than the current Indiana Pacers. Now, when the Jazz get going, they're not bad, right? Markkanen is a very good scorer. I understand that. Keontae George can score. Obviously, Walker Kessler out for the year is absolutely brutal. That sucks. Svi Mikhailuk is playing good basketball as of right now. Sure, Yusef Nurkic is starting at center. Come on. The Hawks should beat this team. And again, the main factor why I believe the odds are even just this close, and the reason why the Hawks are only at minus 135 and not right now at minus 150 is because, well, A, it's second out of a back-to-back, but really it's the combination of it being a back-to-back for Atlanta and the fact that, okay, you got to play at elevation, right? Obviously, Utah is no Denver, but it's almost there, I think. I don't know, again, I don't know the geology of it. I think that's geology, right? Is that geology, or what is geology? Geology is study the Earth. Yeah, right, okay, I did get that correct. I did listen in class. Okay, I don't know the geology of Salt Lake City, but I know, again, the altitude's pretty high up there. Like, the UFC always mentions it whenever, we have a fight in Salt Lake, altitude. Anyways, I don't think it really affects the Hawks. Like, yeah, second night of a back-to-back, but their guys did not play in the fourth quarter. They did not have to play a grueling game, treacherous game last night. They got their guys out in the third quarter. They should be fine. They blew out the Kings last night by 33 points, and the Hawks only now are 7-5, without their all-star and best player, Trae Young, still being out for another 2-ish weeks, 2-3 potentially weeks. Again, like we saw in the Lakers game, we've seen against the Clippers and against the Kings, like, it's just next man up, especially in that Lakers game where they were starting Keaton Wallace, they're playing Mohamed Gay, they're playing Onyeka instead of Porzingis, and that's the thing too, like, this bench unit is playing really well. I was a little bit critical at the beginning of the season of Atlanta because they weren't playing well out the gates, but they figured it out without Trae. Again, starting lineup, Daniels, Rissache, Johnson, Porzingis, and that bench unit, man, Keaton Wallace, Craigie, Mohamed Gay, Onyeka, Luke Kennard. There are players, man. Asa Newell's playing some too. There are players on this Atlanta team. I like them quite a bit right now. And the Utah Jazz, they played well against Indiana, but this is still a 4-7 team. I know Ace Bailey's playing a lot better right now. That's a big time for Utah. They're getting big minutes obviously out of Markkanen, and Keontae George is playing well. Walter Clayton just lost all of his minutes for some reason. Okay. It's a good team. If they don't get hot, though, from beyond the arc, they're not very good. Again, we talked about it earlier when they played Indiana. They got hot from beyond the arc. I don't think they do the same against Atlanta. I think the Hawks, again, played decent defense in the Clippers game. They obviously limited Sacramento to only 12 points in the second quarter yesterday, and I get it. That's just, well, the Kings suck and they can't score. I completely understand that, but still, I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks here on the road. I think this is my favorite bet of the day, even with it being the second night of a back-to-back. Again, my main thing with that is they didn't play their guys in the fourth quarter. So it's not a real back-to-back. They played 20 minutes last night. And the Hawks are going to be fine. Give me Atlanta here on the road in Salt Lake City to the Delta Center, beating the Utah Jazz at -135. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on Thursday, November 13th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you did this great thing in the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. We've got like 10 games tomorrow, so a much easier slate to navigate. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba, forever.